So it's been a while since I made the last devlog, and the biggest difference is moving from Godot to Unreal, but I won't get into that too much. The main things I've been working on so far are making the enemies break into pieces when they die, and as you can see here, it doesn't look that realistic because I ran it through a particle system rather than just spawning body parts themselves. And the reason I did that was because that's how I did glass shattering and like vases breaking, rather than using the destruction system that Unreal has. Because I tried that and it just didn't really work. So naturally I thought, hey, I use the particle system for spawning in glass pieces. I could do it for body parts too. The issue is when they hit the ground, the body parts don't look like they're really interacting with the ground itself. So I'll have to spawn them directly in so they could have their own physics. And I've also been working on a heavy shotgun enemy. And I don't know what the issue was or what the difference is between this enemy and the other ones, but the ragdoll physics were just not working with the shotgunner. So instead of having him ragdoll when he dies, I actually give him a death animation, unless you're actually jibbing him. But the reason I never used death animations before is because stopping their combat logic when they die to do the death animation, I guess, was too hard for me when I was learning. But, now I just set the movement to 0 and I set all the other logic on a Boolean. Seems pretty simple. And you can see this dude, like the shotgunner, he just flies away. And then I added a cool couple personal touches to the shotgun enemy. Like the glowing red eyes, that was my touch, that wasn't on a 3D model I downloaded. And also because he has like a gas mask on, I figured I would put the gas mask sound effect, but it sounded a lot better like if everything else was quiet. So I implemented like an audio ducking system so that when he's alive and breathing, all the other sounds like your guns and your reloading, picking stuff up, that gets tuned down. And then when he dies, all the other audio goes back to the normal level. And then another issue I had was when there were multiple shotgun enemies, they would all be breathing. So he would have like 6 or 7, gas mask sound effects running at the same time. And normally I would use an is playing node to stop audio from, overlapping. But since they were all using the same script, I had to go through with a for loop and stop everybody's breathing audio and then play it once. And then probably the coolest thing I did was add blood decals, 2 sets of them. So when you shoot an enemy, they get bloody, their clothes get bloody, and then blood also shoots out their back onto the wall. An issue I had with that was the blood didn't have a color, unless there was like a direct light source shining on it. And I got around that by adding like slight emissiveness so it would glow. And then with the shotgun, I spawned multiple ones per piece of buckshot so that when you shoot him, it looked like the blood would spread out behind him. And then I still have a bug with the revolver that when you reload, it kind of adjusts the player character's angle. And it's only with that gun because the animations for the guns and the hands are separated. And I wanted him to like slightly raise his arms when doing the reloading. And that's the only gun it does it for. And I think that messes up it like adjusts his bone hierarchy. So I have to figure out a way to reparent the camera bone hierarchy, but it's just not, it doesn't happen every time. So it's not on the top of my priority list right now.